All right, what's going on, voices? It's week 11. It is Tuesday. I'm recording this on a Tuesday, which means this did not make it out on Tuesday at 8 a.m. as I had intended. Sorry about that. But here it is. It's a little late. Better late than never. Never late is better. I think that's a Drake lyric, but I know the people are going to love that one. But yeah, it's week 11. We have 2 weeks in the regular season to go, and we have a lot of contributors this week, so that's actually really exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into voices, not hold you up any longer. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys in chat and all that good stuff. Peace.
Oh boy. I really thought that we were out after yesterday's loss. Yes, that's right. Me and Jalen played on Sunday before stream. I had a busy week and was not able to play any other day pretty much. And from what I heard, he was busy too. So we had our match yesterday, and what can I say? We are apparently not out, according to sources inside the PLC. But it's not gonna be easy. Apparently, we have to win out, and if we do, there might be a chance. But I legit thought it was all over yesterday. Basically, what happened is Jalen took us down 4-0. Yes, he did indeed get his first win versus us. And pretty much it's due to my bad prep, kinda sorta. Like, what I think happened was if I had run Chandelure with max speed, because like on top of my speed invest, I was scarfed too, but I wanted some health invest as well. So if I had run max speed, I would have outsped his Noivern, and maybe he wouldn't have been able to flinch us to death, because that's basically what happened. I managed to take 2 Pokemon out, but that's as far as my effort goes on that match. So Jalen got his first win versus us, and honestly, it hurt because I really thought at first it was over, but now I've heard that apparently it's not. So I guess we can't afford to rest up yet. We're facing Corey next, and Corey has a very scary team. We've beaten him once in a scrim, but a scrim don't matter. It's all just a practice. And besides, he was kind of unfortunate in that one. Yeah, I said it. He was. So we'll see if we can beat him in a serious match, and if we can, and honestly, then afterwards we beat Ian. Yes, we do face Mr. Mushroom at the final week. So beat Corey, beat Ian, and we might be in. But right now we're just half out in the cold, or at least it feels like fully out in the cold. But that's apparently not the case. So rest is not an option, apparently. So I guess I'm just gonna have to do my best and see what happens. Looking at Corey's team, it is a very scary team. There's a Gyarados, which I thought I would be facing versus Jalen. Hence why I brought Clear Amulet Pomade also. Gyarados did not show up. But yeah, we're facing Corey next, and we're definitely gonna have to put our freaking brains together. Like, I mean, if we freaking lose this one, like, I do believe it's over. But hey, maybe we're good enough to beat both him and Ian, but I guess only time will tell. But for now, we're focusing on Corey, and yeah, I guess there's not much else to say. 2 more weeks, and is it doomsday or will we keep going? Only time will tell. This has been Selina, coach of the Area Zero All Stars, signing off.
Hey, what's going on, PLC? It's Dan. Uh, don't mind the low voice. I'm still dealing with allergies and don't really know exactly what I'm gonna say. Just kind of rambling on. Uh, guess we're getting close to playoffs, so congrats to everybody that's either made it or, well, has a really good chance of making it. Um, Still got 2 weeks left, so just play really well. um, I guess a main thing I want to say is, especially for anybody doing well, I mean, but especially also for the people that uh, just want to fuck around, I guess. Um, Especially with Mons, because I know everybody has some Pokemon on their team that they're just not really using or doing anything with. Uh, I am a culprit as well. Just don't be afraid to make some interesting or fun moves like pickups on the wire and stuff until this feast of the week happens. Just experiment with some stuff and like especially with stuff that you're not using really. Like I had Sceptile and I only used it once. I had other ideas for it. I just never thought it was fine for me to bring, so I just never used it. And it just kind of sat on my team for a bit when I could have just swapped that thing out for literally anything else and messed around with it. And I kind of did the same thing with Hippowdon. I love Big Bertha, but I wasn't really thinking she was meshing well on my team, so I just did a big risk thing and, messing around with something like Infernape and seeing if it fits well. Um, I like to suggest everybody else do the same, but obviously you don't have to do it. Just my personal advice. There's a lot of fun stuff on the wire still, so I know we only have like a couple weeks left, but maybe give something a try. Whether it's an asterisk, not an asterisk, just something you don't feel like you've been using well or bringing at all, really. Uh, it's kind of short and simple because I can't really ramble because I don't really know what else to talk about outside of good luck to everybody's matches. Um, Heard the stream was doing really well, so congrats for the stream last night. I was dead asleep, and hope we all see each other near the finish line. And I have Josh this week, so I'm planning to take my boy down. So uh, we'll see who comes out on top, I guess. This is Dan signing off.
What's up, family? This is Blitz, and I finally got a pocket of time to upload a contribution to Voices. Season's been wonderful up to this point. We're going into week 11, and we're getting ready to go into playoffs within 2 weeks. So this is crunch time, fellas. This is one of the tightest parts of the season. Everything really means something. You really can't afford to take losses, or you're on the other end of the spectrum and you really need a win so that you can get into playoffs. It's great. One thing I always encourage is to, especially up to this point, is get to know your team. If you haven't already done so, um, get to know your team. A lot of the lesser used mods that you probably haven't brought in 4 weeks. Um, this is the time that you have 2 weeks to get yourself in order and optimize your team. So get to know your team, know what works and doesn't work, what you're not fond of, and get rid of that stuff, man. Move it out. Who cares if someone else get it? It benefits them. At this point, you're looking at optimizing your team. So once our team's locked going into playoffs, you'll be good. Don't let dead weight sit around. Look and really see what you need, what helps you, and then reach out to people. Like this, we've done a lot better this year. about communication and trading. So like this year has been really good. I guess with the quality of life change of adding doubles to most things really made things a lot more dynamic as far as moves and changes, which is great. That's a great thing. We really needed that. Some people have things on their team that they don't use and they just won't trade it either, and you just be stuck. But having another option available has really helped, people get what they need for their teams without having to go through people who just not really active, who aren't really moving things. It's on their team. They won't trade it. It just sucks. But this really helped us mold things together and make our communication a lot more dynamic when it comes to making moves in the season. But going back to what I was saying, man, go back and look at your teams, see what you need, and let's fill those voids. Reach out to people, get some things moved. It really helps to put teams together and use those, even the ones you don't really think is that good. Depending on the situation, those are some of your stars. Just look at Brux's recently. Like Brux has been sitting on the wire for like 4 weeks, at least. Picked it up and it's a star, and it just does so much for my team based on what we're trying to accomplish over here. And one of our weaknesses is, sucker punch start, priority. Boom, we just lock that out, and we can do what we can do without, that one part that's crippling us. I'm sorry, but that's the thing that we should talk about with, just looking into your team, knowing what each man does, knowing what each man's strength is, and just using it to your best. I didn't want to take too much of you guys' time, but I did want to throw something together. Anyway, good luck on your matches for week 11. You're almost there, fellas. 2 more weeks. But here we go. Blitz out.
All right, what's going on, PLC? It is week 11. We have 2 weeks to go in the regular season. We have 2 battles to go. And this is the best time of year. I've said that once before, and I'll say it again. I stand by that. This is really the best time of year. This is so much fun. Every battle is so important. Not only the battles, but like the margins are important. If you win by 2 versus you win by 4 versus you win by 1, it can all play a difference. So it's just so exciting. It's my favorite time of year. It's fun. And yeah, good stuff. So today I'm going to talk about the standings and the week 11 matches, just the same as we've done in the past couple portions that we've submitted for voices. So standings, the top 4. I'm in number 1. I'm in the number 1 spot. Awesome. Dan is in the number 2 spot. Jay is in the number 3 spot. And Eris is in the number 4 spot. So myself, Dan, and Jay, we all have an 8-2 record, which is cool. Eris has a 7-3 record in that 4 spot. Number 5 and 6, Bosch and Brendan, who also have a 7-3 record. So Eris has the plus minus. That's why he's above them. And yeah, we are, really all, well, I guess 1 through 8 are all technically competing for the number 1 through 4 spot. But myself, Dan, Jay, Eris, currently in the top 4. Bosch and Brendan very easily could find themselves in the top 4 with a win here and a loss by someone else, or 2 consecutive wins, or whatever the case may be. But really, those are the top 4 competitors at the moment. So they're all competing for those top 4 spots. And then again, 7 and 8, Ty and Zach both at 6 and 4. They're technically competing as well for the top 4 because 2 wins by them could put them at 8 and 4, which is a great record to end the season with. So they could easily find themselves in the top 4 as well. Then you've got the players in the 9 through 12 spot. So they are all actually 5 and 5. They put a little distance between the players that are in the playoffs versus the players that are out of the playoffs. But Brian, Ian, Corey, and Mike, all at 5 and 5, are in your 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then you've got the players that are currently on the outside looking to get in. We've got a couple players at 4 and 6 in Speakman, Justin, SB, and J Wade. Those are your 13 through 16. And then we've got in the 17 and 18 spot, Selina and Phil at 3 and 7, whose hopes for playoffs are not technically dead. They can go 2-0 over the course of these next 2 weeks, and they can find themselves looking at a plus-minus to potentially get themselves into playoffs. So it will take 2 wins. You can't lose 1, but if they do it, they basically are playing the numbers. At that point, it's going to be who has the better plus-minus. So we'll be looking to see if they can do that. Then we've got in the 19th spot Jalen at 1-9, who is unfortunately eliminated from playoffs. And then we've got in the 20th spot Sakuna at 0-10, who's also unfortunately eliminated from playoffs. So they are both playing spoiler this week and next week. Just looking to dash someone's hopes for playoffs. And we'll actually see who they play. That'll be interesting to keep an eye on. But yeah, so I mean, anything that stands out to me, like me being at 8-2, again, it's cool. I'm not going to sit there and act like I'm the GOAT or I'm the champion or anything like that, because I can think of 2 battles off the top of my head that I probably should have lost. One being to Bosch, and then the other being to Eris. If Eris just has a choice Scarf instead of a choice Specs on his Blastoise, that game very easily could have been over for me in turn 1. And then, again, Bosch, our match, I think he should have won that. I can't remember the specifics, but I remember being down big. And then Bosch could very easily be 8-2, and I could be, 7-3, or if I lose to Eris, 6-4. So I'm not going to sit there and act like, oh, yeah, 8-2, I'm the man. No. This is Pokemon, and matches can be decided by an item or an EV spread or, whatever the case may be. So, seeing myself up there is really cool. I'm not going to lie to you. It is exciting. But then, like Dan, Jay, Reese, seeing them at the top's not anything surprising. Bosch at 7-3 in his rookie year is cool. I don't think we've ever had a rookie perform as well as Bosch, outside of maybe Reese winning it all in his rookie year, which there were 5 of us, and that was our first season. So that was probably the best rookie year. That's like... Are there any other rookies? Like Magic Johnson, I think, won a title in his rookie year. Syracuse, Carmelo Anthony... Anthony Davis in 2012 won as a rookie with Kentucky. Anyone else? Those are the ones that stand out as freshmen / rookies to win it all. There's probably someone that's obvious that I'm just not thinking of at the moment. And I'm going to be kicking myself for not thinking of something so clearly obvious, but it's all good. Those couple players, and Eris, of course, who won a championship in his rookie year. So that's funny. All right, so Bosch, 7-3 is awesome in his rookie year. Ty is still having a good year, 6-4. I think last week was kind of deflating for him, but Zach is a good player. I think he lost to Zach last week. We were in chat. Just didn't take it the best, but I mean, Zach is really good. Zach has 3 championships, so losing to Zach is nothing to be upset about. Sorry, I've been fighting a cold and it's kicking my butt right now. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the players that stand out. And just give me 1 second. I hear music coming downstairs, so I might have to do a part 2. All right, so I didn't have to do a part 2. I could actually pause and then just pick up the recording in the app. Holy crap, technology, dude. This is insane. But yeah, I think I was at the 5 and 5 players. So Brian, Ian, Corey, and Mike. Brian, Ian, and Mike, seeing them you typically see them towards the top of the table. So, they could easily end up at 7 and 5, winning these next 2 weeks and be right back in the top. So not necessarily surprising to see them at 5 and 5, but I wouldn't be surprised if I saw them go undefeated over the next 2 weeks either. So, the players at 4 and 6, like Speakman, he's gone 4 and 4 over the course of the games he's played. And then SB and J-Wade, seeing them at 4 and 6 is, again, not necessarily surprising, but I could easily see them ending the season at 6 and 6 after winning 2 games too. So not really anything overly surprising, but just, again, some thoughts. And I guess that's kind of the players that stand out to me. Let's jump into this schedule real fast for this week's battles. And we added the records of people so we could see, what matches are super critical, which ones are super important, and we'll bounce through this really quickly. So Dan and Bosch, clearly, Dan has had the hardest 4 weeks in PLC history, dare I say it. He played me, fighting off number 1. He played Brendan, fighting off number 1. He played Eris, fighting off number 1, and finally stumbled there. I think that was his last week match, right? Yep, Eris beat him by 3, and now he's got Bosch essentially fighting for the top 4. Oh my gosh, that's a tough couple weeks, especially considering the stakes. Wow. All right, Ty at 6-4, Jalen at 1-9. Hopefully Ty can get that dub. Jalen is playing spoiler, so if he does get that win, it puts not necessarily Ty's playoff hopes in jeopardy, but it definitely knocks him down a peg. So Ty, I know, is looking to get that. SB and J Wade both at 4-6. That's actually big because one of them is going to be eliminated from playoffs. I don't think that's entirely fair to say, but one of them is going to put themselves in a really good position to make playoffs, as opposed to the other player who it's going to be a little tougher for. So, and then Speakman and Phil, this same thing. If Phil loses, he is unfortunately knocked out. That's confirmed. But Speakman, if he wins, he puts himself in a good spot, and then he'll have to keep an eye on the match ahead of him to see who else ends up at 5-6. But again, Phil, if he loses, it goes to 3-8. Even if he wins week 12, he only has 4 wins. The current number 12 spot holder has 5 wins. So it's just not going to be enough to make playoffs. So Phil will definitely want to win this match. All right, Jay and Zach. Wow, this is huge as well. This is a rematch of finals 2 or 3 years ago. And this is a big one. So Jay, fighting to stay in that top 4. Zach, really, fighting to get into that top 4. A win here would be huge. So that's going to be a monumental match. That's huge. All right, Brendan at 7-3, and Brian. Brian wants to shore up his playoff hopes with a win. Brendan wants to stay in the top 4 or get into the top 4. I think he's currently on the outside looking in. So a win for either of them would be awesome. Ian and Aris, this is essentially the same thing, but flip-flopped. Aris trying to stay, well, he is trying to stay in the top 4 as opposed to Brendan, who's trying to climb into. And then Ian, again, a win would put him at 6-5, kind of shoring up his playoff hopes. And then Selina and Corey. So Selina needs 2 wins. Corey needs to shore up his playoff position. So these matches, actually, Brian, Ian, and Corey, with them, them also, I was going to say, with them potentially getting wins, that could make the 12th spot that much harder to attain. But then again, they could also take a loss and just kind of keep the threshold at 5 wins. So those matches are going to be interesting to keep an eye on. Selina at 3-7, again, needs to go perfect over these next 2 weeks, and Corey trying to shore up his playoff position. Sakuna looking for a first win against Mike. That's going to be a tough order. Mike's the defending champ. He also, these 4 matches, all with players at 5-5, have huge implications for players who are trying to climb into playoffs. Oh my goodness, you hear the kids in the background. And then Justin at 4-6, going up against me, who is trying to stay in the top 4. So Justin, a win here would be big for his playoff hopes, and then me, a win here would be big for my top 4 consideration. So sorry if you guys can hear the little chaperoo in the back. She is having a great day. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's week 11. That's what is about to happen this week over the course of these next 4 days, because today's Tuesday. Sorry, I am getting this out late. Sorry about that. But over the course of the next 4 days, these matches are going to be played, and we're going to have some results, and these results are going to be big. So it'll be super exciting to see what happens this week, and then it'll be exciting to see what plays out over the course of the weekend and as we head into the final week of the regular season. I'm just super hyped. This is, again, my favorite time of year. Hope you guys are having fun as well. And that's all for now. I'll see you guys in chat, and yeah, that's it. Peace.